Greetings, world! Us hairy game lords this evening have been terraforming Mars, the dice game. But what did we think? Find out! Bearded lady here. I backed this little bad boy on Kickstarter and it arrived the other day. And one thing that was extremely surprising is we've played it. Amazing. It's not taken a year to get to the table. Good times. If you know Terraforming Mars, then you can pretty much pick up this game. It is quite easy. The rulebook. Oh, there's hardly anything in there. Just a few pages. It was so easy to learn that I did it.
It's
true! I learned it. I taught it tonight. Good times. And then there's these great little cheat sheet things going on here as well. There's two of those. It is a 1 to 4 player game. So these nestle nicely between two players. Double-sided. Oh no, one side is the setup for solo. Other side is where you live it up for the multiplayer. Good times. Just got a shed load of dice. Excellente. Feels great. And this is your resources. You've got your cards, and you're doing what you'd usually do in Terraforming Mars. You're trying to get 2 of the 3 win conditions, and then it's the most victory points to end. I absolutely loved this game. Tonight we played it with... we broke the rules. We're hairy game lords. We played it with 5 of us. There was a double-headed member, which was me and Martine. Excellente. And great game. Lots of fun around the table. Even though there isn't that much interaction going on, there was a buzz about our table as I feel like there was a general consensus of us all enjoying it. It seemed to flow nicely, and different people had different strategies going on. There's quite a lot of stuff that goes on for end scoring at the end. That's where Pete loves. He loves a bit of end scoring. There was stuff going on for in-game scoring. There was the whole thing of building up kind of like a bit of a chain reaction going on, which James liked, although me and Mark were pretty good at it. Really, really enjoyed this game. Will I be getting rid of Terraforming Mars? Hell yeah. Terraforming Mars is a great game. Do I get it to the table? No. Why? Because it takes so long to play. This took place in... How long did it take to play?
An hour and a half.
Hour and a half. Hour and a half. Felt fun the whole way through. Liked it.
Slightly Birdie James. Okay, this game is fantastic. I really like how fast it is. I love the way that there are loads of different ways you can win. I love the way that you can think carefully about what your go is going to be. Even though, other people might want to be doing other stuff as well. But I think that this game is a really nice game to pick up and play as well. We got it very quick off the bat, and it is testament to how good this game is to get into that Ange taught it. And he taught it well as well. It's true.
Thank you.
And he smashed the teach, actually. So, here's Mars. Woo, it's double-sided, so you got some options. Whoop. I've just dropped Mars. Okay, so if you've never played it before, you're trying to increase the temperature. Ding-ding-ding. You're trying to make there enough oxygen. And you're also trying to put some oceans out. And the game ends when there's a certain amount of either that's full and that full. Well, 2 of the 3 things, so oceans, oxygen, and heat. And it is entirely possible for you to kind of like just try and add heat. But there's no fun in that because you want to get cards. I was going to get the cards out, and there are so many cool cards in this. I really like the way that if you are, I guess, are clever about it, you can just work your way through lots of different options. On your go, you've essentially got a choice between: do you produce resources? or do you do actions? So everyone's going to be getting a kind of a base set of dice, which you can add to by developing your kind of station. I really enjoyed kind of like developing my dice, so I got loads of stuff that I could throw, giving me lots of options. And then on the action side of things, there's loads of different things you can do, but it's all really simple, really easy to wrap your head around. I think that you would love this game if you're looking for a next step into board gaming, because this has got great complexity, great replayability, and it's so easy to get into. I think you wouldn't like this game if you hate dice. I mean, even then, like, there's lots of space for you to mitigate. I think you wouldn't like this game if you hate Mars. I honestly think this would be one that, like, a lot of people would really enjoy. I think the other thing is, like, if you're very easily overwhelmed by options, and you know that you kind of like have trouble making decisions. Dave wasn't here tonight, but Dan was. You might not like this. Otherwise, I think that this is such a great kind of like great pitched game for how easy it is to get into and the joy that you can get out of it.
Hi there, so it's Peter Hipster King with my thoughts on Terraforming Mars, the dice game. So I guess straight off the bat, a lot of people hear dice, particularly if you're kind of a Euro gamer and start twitching, and particularly if they're colourful dice and they're not in just various shades of brown. I'm a Euro gamer. I'm going to put my hands up and say that, although I do like the odd dice game. The beauty with the dice in this, yes, there is you roll the dice when you take the dice, so there is an element of luck at that point. However, in the action sequences, you can pay dice to change the faces of the dice to any face that you need. Those dice are various different resources, and those resources you're going to trade into buy cards. Those cards, you can, if you want to, you can just go and constantly dig through that deck to find the cards that will match the dice that you've got, or you can do what I did, which is basically go out and get loads and loads and loads and loads of dice and work through the cards that I'd got. So I scored very well in terms of the sort of that piece of work. What I didn't end up doing very well was the kind of end game scoring stuff, which is unusual for me. I went for in game stuff, and so I was there or thereabouts just before we got into the end game scoring. James and I were kind of a few points. James was a couple of points ahead of me, and then the end game, and I was well ahead of Ange and Martin, but then their end game scoring took, I think they got at least 20, 25 points in end game scoring, yes, as opposed to about 7, I think I've got 10 or something. So their acceleration on that end game scoring was amazing. Really, really good. It's got that kind of, it's not quite multiplayer solitaire because there are things that you know. I ended up getting pretty much all the red dice at one point. and what I did was I kept hold of those. I knew what I was going to spend them on, but I just thought I'm just going to keep spending other stuff because people want the red dice and I've got them, so I'll just. So there is that kind of bit of interaction, and you can, you know, a number of times I think there were just sort of I was wanting to move the temperature up and gain a resource, and there were 2 steps to go, and I was thinking, oh, I can't see it. I've got all the reds, so that's one of the way, you know, I'll probably be all right. Moved it up 1, and then James immediately said, I was waiting for you to do that. Pitch it, cheers, Pete, and I got a card set up ready to take the extra bonuses and things. So there was a bit of interaction, but one of those games where I'd got 2 or 3 moves planned out pretty much, and they didn't need to change too much because of what other people did. However, because of, you know, we said Dave wasn't here. Dave does like to think about his turns. I think he wouldn't mind us saying that. And clearly there is something strange on the days that Dave isn't here, because whoever sits in his seat appears to take on one of Dave's characteristics. So we had the game where James became the most evil take that player that ever has lived, worse than Dave. And I think Dan had the slowest game he's ever had. Like, is it Dan? Whose turn is it? You know, normally the answer to that question is, if you need to ask, it's Dave's. Today we changed the Dave to Dan. So it does. There is potential because there are so many. Arguably, there's quite a lot you can do on your turn. If you're somebody who struggles with a wide choice, this might be a little bit challenging for you. But in terms of weighting, lovely middleweight game, really, really nicely put together, and it keeps moving. It just keeps churning on. So you kind of, we were flying. I don't know how many turns we got through, but loads and loads of turns in that time. It was brilliant, brilliant. Loved it.
Dan here. Yeah. Well,
Every time.
Yeah,
it's me.
It's me. Yeah. It's a great game. I did take a little bit of time deciding on what I was going to do. Much to Pete's dismay.
Or even just realising it was your go.
Yes, it also comes as a solo game, so I think that's when I would probably do quite well.
Yes.
You might forget it's your turn.
Yeah, it's a great game. The artwork's really nice. The cards feel really nice. Just buy it.
Oh, many laughs was had.
Greetings, what's ages since I've done one of these intros. So
Oh my
long.
goodness.
So damn long. My beard looks majestic. Great. Where's the camera is the bottom right, left.
Because I'm really into knowing where that is.